Awesome.
Is that
Okay.
cool? Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start off here, and thank you again for taking a minute out. And I want to begin our journey here by addressing what we're coming on the 4-year anniversary of, which is the global pandemic. How did you get through that time period, and how did it subsequently change you?
Wow, that's a great question.
Off and
Well,
running.
I well, I got through it by eating a lot, cooking a lot, and
Yes.
um, and I also, I'm an active meditator, and I taught during that time too. That was one way I reached out to the community and taught, just to help them get free of some of that fear of what might occur and what could happen. And that was fun. I was also actively engaged in other groups where I was part of, people who were teaching too. So that was how I kind of just stayed focused and didn't go crazy with all the fear.
So you probably saw an uptick because of that, correct? I mean, wouldn't you have did you see a lot more people once the pandemic started?
I saw a lot more people who were, how do I put this? They were really good students. They really wanted a result. They were
Yeah.
not there to mess around. They were there to really help themselves, and they weren't just there to like get the next thing. They were actually there to help themselves.
So let's get to the heart and soul of what you do on a daily basis for a living. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of third graders. It's career day. And one of the kids says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer that child?
I say, "Oh, okay. Let's go play."
Yes, exactly.
That's a great question too. So I help people with meditation and mindfulness through a practice called Vishoka meditation, and that is from the Yoga Sutras. Just breaking it down. I've also written a book about how to access these, um, not just Vishoka, but the four attitudes in everyday life, regardless of what's happening to you.
Yeah.
And the four attitudes are compassion, friendliness, non-judgment, and joy.
So what did you want to be in the third grade? What was your dream to grow up and become?
Oh, wow. I wanted to be a model.
Okay. Okay. So talk to me about how this became your path. Take me back to where you were born and raised, and how did you get this way of life to teach others and to help others? How did this happen?
Well, I've always been a spiritual seeker, and 15 years ago, I met my tradition, which is the Himalayan Institute, and um, I had a mentor for 12 years that helped me really just get free of a lot of fear and anxiety and pain and all kinds of things, and just being in a group of people. And um, yeah, and I practice and study in India every year, and so.
So let me ask you this for the regular person out there that hears meditation that's never done it before. It's kind of uncharted territory, but it would bring a lot of healing to them. What would you say to them to convince them to take the leap? And how I mean, I think we all have a basic understanding of what meditation is, but I think it's kind of like jazz. People have this misperception of it. They think it's more highbrow maybe than it is, but it's a little bit more elemental. How would you go about describing and helping people through that?
I'd ask, well, I'd ask them a question, what they'd want to get out of it. What are they seeking? That would be the first thing. And a lot of times, what people say is, I just want to be happier, or I just want to be more calm, or I just want to have more resources. And so I would ask the question of what specifically, are they seeking through the path of meditation or mindfulness or um, any of those. Answer that with a question that maybe would take them a little deeper into them looking inward and saying, "Oh yeah, I've come to this path because I want X, Y, or Z." You know,
Yeah.
um, and I just have a fundamental understanding that if it worked to be mean or to be, you know, hard on people or to be shameful, like if that worked, our societies would be free and happy. Like we know what doesn't work,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
We know that treating people a certain way actually does not produce the result we want. And so I'm all about let's get you what you want
Yeah.
from meditation.
What did you initially get into meditation for? What was your goal?
I really wanted to understand how mind and body connect through breathing and how I could free myself, right?
Yeah.
Of thought loops and thought patterns and behaviors and ideas. I really wanted to apply it to myself in my own life.
My idea of it is I feel like it would bring a lot of peace. I feel like there's a
Hmm.
level of tranquility that would slow the noise down that's constant and rampant, especially with the culture that we live in America.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
it's systematic. So it's
yeah,
not like we just throw things at people. It's a
yeah,
systematic process.
yeah. So who's been a hero for you in your life? Who's been an inspiration?
Pandit Rajmani Tiganayat, my teacher,
Okay.
Blair Lewis. Let's see who else. I really like Maya Angelou's writings.
Yeah.
I think she touches people in a way. Yeah. So I love her writing. Yeah,
So if you could meet one person alive on the planet right now that you find inspirational or fascinating, who would that one person be?
Swami Rama.
Okay. Okay. All right. Very I didn't want to assume, but yeah, so let me ask you this. What is your ultimate inspiration every day? To get up, to help people, to evolve as a human yourself? What is the holistic vision for you and what you want to get done each day?
Hmm. Well, it's really important to me to get up and practice meditation and calm my breathing. Like just start with my breath and get all the bumps out.
Yeah.
The pauses, the jerks, the all of that, and just calm down my mind. And then just arrive with my own life force in a way that is nurturing. Like, look, life showed up for me. I'm showing up for life. We are in this together. This is, that is so important. And then I work out every day. I practice yoga every day. So those are really important to me, helping me just be able to be there for other people in a way that's nurturing and vibrant.
So how do you make that balance? Because you're not just going to a job. Your job is to give others what they want, but you also have to take care of yourself. How do you balance that kind of Venn diagram?
Well, this is going to sound kind of self-centered, but I put myself first and I put my
Yeah.
practice first. Like it's the first thing I do when I get up in the morning. I just go sit or I go move my body and I put it first before
Yeah.
my family. Because if I'm right inside and I'm calm and peaceful or I'm vibrant and happy and I have that to give, you know, then that's what I have to give.
Yeah.
So I take care of me first. I put my
Yeah.
own oxygen mask on.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I totally get it. So let me ask you this. What's been one of your best success stories? One of the clients that you've had that was really breakthrough that always puts a smile on your face?
Mm. So Dr. Um, Carolyn, she is a chiropractor and I absolutely love her. And I love what she said about spending time in the program that I teach. She said it was transformational. She said that it gave her an easy way to be able to practice every day. Like it was just like, I can do this 5 minutes a day and see massive results. Like that was really great. And she's even said she's still using it. So it's still through time having its power and effect on her life.
Yeah. So now that we've kind of come out of this pandemic and we're all in a different space, do you find that we're getting to maybe a level of enlightenment as a people? A level, a new, I mean, mental health is a big deal. Obviously, people are looking for fulfillment beyond just materialistic things. I think there's a deeper sense of us as humans. What do you sense as far as, we're not officially out of the pandemic, but we're out of the lockdown and all of those things. How do you feel as a people? Where are we heading?
Can you be more specific? Like,
Just
where are
like
we
with the
heading?
like with the people that you talk to and you help, is your sense that people are going for deeper things? Is your sense that we're hopefully getting to a better place through all of these things that we've gone through?
Yes, I would say yes. And the people that I serve and work with are definitely people seeking something deeper. They're not just, they don't just want that surface experience. They're looking for something that they can care, they can follow a path that helps them day in and day out. And I think we are. I want to believe that we are evolving as humans.
Yeah.
And I have a basic fundamental belief that, like the Sanda Lahari says, wave of beauty, wave of bliss. It is a privilege to be born human.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I totally. So, what was the first book that you read growing up that was that you either come back to or that you wanted to read or write? How did that work? What was the book for you?
oh, geez. Well, um, I don't know. As a child, you mean?
Yeah, or I mean, in your formative development of loving reading, what was one of the first books?
I mean, this sounds funny, but really, I absolutely love the Bhagavad Gita because the Gita, and it's such a great story, and it paints really good pictures in my mind of, student teacher relationship and how it works, and how you can free yourself through those relationships. So I really love that book.
So as a writer, what was the first thing that you wrote where you were like, I got this. This is something that makes sense. I can be an author.
I think the first chapter of my book, The Four Attitudes, like when I started writing about friendship and friendliness, I was like, man, I got a lot to say here.
Yeah.
I have, you know what I mean? And I loved it, and I kind of fell in love with the process of writing it.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. So let me ask you this. Of all the things that you've done, overcome, and become in your life, what are you the proudest of?
well, I'm really the proudest of my children. I love them.
Sure.
They're amazing. They're amazing. And I'm really proud of having a 30-year marriage. Not very many people have that right now. Um, but I would say if you're asking about my achievements, practicing every day, and just having that be one of my guides in my life, I'm grateful for that.
So let's say we get off this Zoom call and a time machine pulls up in front of your house and you can go anywhere in human history and see one event. Where are you going?
Wow, that is a great question.
It's fun.
It is such a fun question. I think I would go to the future, and I'd want to see if the neural nets actually work. That
Yeah, I love that spin on the answer when it's like going somewhere that we're not at yet. I think it's fascinating, you know.
hmm
And I think that was one of the reasons why Back to the Future was such a fun film because it was like, wow, that's the future. Look at those glasses, look at the hoverboard, look at all these things, you know. So it's wild.
it
Um,
is.
so at the end of the day, everyone has a perception of you. Family, friends, clients, colleagues, but you run the show. What is your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Multifaceted. I think that I have, I'm many things. Um, Many different um, parts of me exist, and I work to be friends with all of them, right?
Yeah,
So maybe, even on my days when I'm like,
yeah,
human, I'm like,
yeah,
ooh, hello, let's be friends.
yeah, 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 totally. What's your favorite thing about living in Boulder?
The mountains,
Okay,
they're so beautiful. Like, and the skiing is really good here.
yeah. Well, that's the thing I always wonder. I went up to Castle Rock this summer, right outside of Denver, and I always wonder when I get around the mountains because we don't have anything here in Kansas City. We have no massive body of water, no mountains. It's just everything's flat. So I always wonder when you live in the mountains if you ever just kind of get so used to it, it's road. But I get the sense that there's always kind of an appreciation, I would imagine, because that's where you live and they're majestic.
They're beautiful, and actually, we have a really beautiful view out here in the backyard. We have the whole Front Range, and it's a beautiful place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So if anyone wants to get your book, hire you, learn more about you, reach out, any and all of the above, where can they go?
The4attitudes.com.
That's it. That's simple. Hey,
Yep.
no, go ahead.
And you spell it out.
Okay, right on. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I'll put it in the show notes. This has been wonderful. Thank you so much for your story. Thank you for your time. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Take care.